The topic is new initiatives in higher education in the state of Tennessee, and we're talking to the Chancellor of the Tennessee Board of Regents, Dr. Charles Manning. And of course, Dr. Manning, during this last segment, let's give you an opportunity to sort of bring us up in reference to some of the financial things dealing with higher education in Tennessee, because I think the first time that you came to us, there was no lottery, and I think that was one of the major issues that we talked about. How do you finance education, higher education? And now we have a lot. Talk about it from that perspective.
Well, the lottery's been in a number of years now, and I'm sure many in the audience who have been able to take advantage of it. As we were chatting, it is more oriented towards a student who is coming straight from high school. You know, a couple of different programs. You get a little bit more money if you're scoring higher on ACT tests and grade points, and you can still get in with something that is less than a 3.0 and take advantage of it. But right now, you have to have a B average in college to maintain it. And a couple pieces of advice I guess I'd pass on. One is, you know, it's you know, sometimes it's I guess it's harder when you get into college to maintain that B than it was in high school. And you gotta get on it right away.
Good.
And keep working at it. The other is that to be a full-time student, you have to take 12 hours. And to be on the lottery, you have to take 12 hours. But you know, if you take just 12, that's all you sign up for, you start to get in trouble with one of them. You have nothing to fall back on, and you're probably better off if you if you take more than that. That would allow you to drop a course, for example, and still be enrolled. It allows you to, work on other courses, maybe have the higher grade if you're getting something.
Don't stand too close to the edge in a real sense, because, if you leave after 11 with 11 hours, then you need 12. You're too close to the edge.
And so that's an issue and a problem. And one of the things, we model a program, not exactly, but to a great extent after the one program that was in Georgia. In Georgia, as has been found in Tennessee, about half the students that come in with a scholarship lose the scholarship because of that B average. I know that the governor and the General Assembly are looking at that pretty hard, even though that was kind of what was planned and expected. On the other hand, when it happens to you, you feel somewhat different about it. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see, I know the serious consideration on saying you have to maintain a 2.75 rather than a 3.0 as doing it. For adults, it's not as easy. One of the things that we have proposed, and jointly with the University of Tennessee, there are quite a number of students who have gone to school are within 30 hours of graduating, whether that's at a bachelor's level and you're at 90 hours, or whether that's an associate degree level and you've got more than 30. And that was the idea. Let's take those people, let's provide a variety of different ways to access them. One of them certainly would be online, and give them a financial incentive to finish. And we think we could increase the number of people in Tennessee with baccalaureate and associate degrees.
That would increase the number of teachers. It would also increase the number of teachers, even nurses.
Well, absolutely, and they would become eligible for lots of different kinds of jobs. The teaching would add, you'd have to add certification, but we've got that available online as well. And so lots of people, they get into a situation where they've made a geographic decision, if you will. They've decided because they're married or their job, and they've located a particular place, and there may or may not be an institution of higher education close by. So providing these opportunities to get there and do that. So another program that the governor has in his budget right now is one that's trying to be an incentive program for high school students to do well, and it would basically make community college virtually free in terms of tuition if you at coming out of high school have a 19 on your ACT, a 19 in English, and a 19 in math. Now that's, we've got lots of students in Tennessee who aren't at that level, but we need to get to that level.
Maybe I shouldn't say this now in a real sense, but I think that in view of the new restrictions that we're putting in dealing with dress codes and all of that, I think that that might be a sensible kind of thing for students to aspire for in terms of doing well in high school and then going into junior college or the second level virtually free, and then in a real sense having an ability to take that lottery money and translate that into a four-year institution and perhaps even go on to professional school, which is to say that that seems to be an excellent path toward that would encourage students along the line all the way down, because you know that if I can get this degree here and I can do well in it, then I can go to the Nashville Tech or any other institution and be well-grounded there, and then go on to the other four-year institutions.
And I'm a perfect example of this. I'd say most students do not know where they're going to end up as they start. I actually had made a deal with my high school chemistry teacher that she'd give me a C if I ever took chemistry again. I went to college majoring in history. I had to take biology as part of the general education. I thought that was really interesting. Decided to major in biology, had to take chemistry to major in biology, took chemistry and found it even more interesting, then got my bachelor's in chemistry and my PhD in chemistry. So I lied to my chemistry teacher in high school.
And ended up in higher education.
But I changed, you know, what I was doing quite a number of times, and that often happens. Community college is a good
your
place
interest, right. That's
to test out what it is you really find interesting and what you're good at and what you like doing.
Yeah, I think that would be an excellent program if they could get that operated, because I'm sure that there are a large number of folks who would do well. And you know, as we said, if since I think there's going to be a little sanity coming back to the way young people are reacting in terms of education now, and I think that we might recognize the importance of it. That's what we're trying to do.
And it takes, as they say, it takes a community to be behind that and try to do it. It takes a student with an individual commitment to do it, and I think that can come around, and many more people can do better in math than they're doing. They're not going to be Einstein, you know, they're not going to formulate unique and novel proofs for the world in mathematics, but they can know a great deal more than they know and be better in doing
good teachers in doing that too. Chancellor, we've got about 2 minutes before the end of the show for today, and this will give you an opportunity to speak to whatever issue you wish to speak to dealing with higher education and these new initiatives that we have in the state.
Well, you know, I'd come back to where I started. I just very much believe that we need more people going on to post-secondary education. You know, the middle third, if you will, is a group we really need to get more education for. Right now, you know, about 60% of the students go on to higher education. Only about half of those get through. That represents about a third of those who dropped out. We need to get those all the way through and doing well. They need to be, you know, better prepared. We're working with K-12 and what we call P16 or pre-through school through college programs to try to build up their ability and expectation for college. But it's the communities, the parents, the people surrounding the students. They have to all help reinforce the need to do this and that you can do it.
Very good.
You can do it.
Very good. And of course, during this last minute, let me simply thank you for coming by and giving us that information. I certainly don't want to do an editorial, but I think it is important that we look at higher education and to see it as the governor is looking at higher education. And he's made some tremendous advances in terms of the system of higher education. Now, I know when we first started several years ago that we were way down. As a matter of fact, I think when you came to us the first time, we were number 49, and you see, and that was before the lottery. And so we've
We've had the best 3 years in capital appropriations. We've had two, this year that's in the governor's budget will be our second year of actually having operating money. We had a big 5-year period with very, very little, and so we're very appreciative of kind of where we are. Have some to go. Have some to go.
But of course, let me thank you, Chancellor, for bringing that excellent information. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.